Good evening. This is Ms Poopee Doodee, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News. Today we're going to talk about taxes. A lot of you may be wondering how to fill out your tax forms, and you may have a lot of questions about taxes. You see, it's very important to pay your taxes because the thing is, if you ever cheat on your taxes or claim that you're supposed to get some money when you're really not supposed to be, and the IRS finds out, you're going to be in lots of trouble. So you should never really cheat on your taxes. However, if it seems that the IRS will never find out, you may be wondering if you should cheat on your taxes. But you probably shouldn't cheat on your taxes, because cheating on your taxes, even if the IRS were to never find out, is not good. Because what's good is to give large portions and large chunks of your hard-earned money to the government. I mean, doesn't it feel so good when at the end of the day you receive your paycheck and you take a look at it and half of it has gone to taxes? Doesn't it make you feel that you've done something useful and productive for the day because half of your money has gone to the government? How nice does that feel? And here you are working really hard, getting up very early in the morning, taking a subway, then realize suddenly the subway is not working, so then you have to take a bus, and then you suddenly realize the bus is not going in that direction because there's some construction and there's a detour. Then you get off the bus, and then you get back on the subway, and then you realize, wait a minute, why are MetroCard's $2.50 now? Did anybody tell me? Oh no, I lost my MetroCard, and then you have to pay an extra $1 now to get that new MetroCard, and then you finally put it back into the that turnstile, and then you get on the train and you finally arrive at work. How nice does that feel? Only to have your boss sit right behind you and watch every single little thing that you do all day, and then finally you get to go home. You get to go home, and then you get the paycheck. And then you look at that paycheck and you're like, oh, how nice does it feel to have half that money go to the government? And the good thing about giving half of your money to the government, because you see, the government, is going to know how to spend the money. That's why we as individuals, we as Americans, don't know how to spend our money, so we need to give half of our paycheck to the government. And what's so nice about the administration, especially the American administration, is that, for some people who may, for whatever reason, not be working, I mean, aside from the fact that the unemployment rate is skyrocketing like some people's heartbeats, while people are not working, this money is also given to people that don't work. I mean, isn't it so nice to just share everything? So while you're working so hard, somebody who's just so, unemployed can just, sleep all day on the couch. I mean, how nice is that? Isn't that a wonderful thing? Though I must admit, lying on your couch all day is not a bad thing. And it's always fun to watch people go to work, especially if you don't have to go to work, You see everybody rushing to the subway, rushing to the bus, and it's kind of fun to laugh at them sometimes because you can see how stressed they look. And it's like, oh, thank God I'm not like one of them, I don't have to do that because, hey, there are tax dollars paid for me to sleep on my couch. I mean, how nice is that? Imagine, especially on a nice sunny day, when the sun is shining so brightly outside and you've got all these hard-working Americans toiling away at work, and here you are saying, hey, I'm going to ride my skateboard in the park, it has its advantages, isn't the government nice? Like, the government is so nice that it's willing to give, your tax dollars to people who, lay on their couch all day and can go out and enjoy sunny weather while the other Americans are working hard. I mean, I would call that a thoughtful government, wouldn't you? A government that thinks. Isn't that great? Aren't you glad that who you voted for became president? Isn't that a wonderful thing? I thought so too. Yes, I definitely thought so. So anyway, today's program is actually about how to file your taxes and what to do. And what we're going to talk about today is one thing you need to fill out is, for those of you who may not know much about taxes, is there's something called a W-9 form. For instance, if you do like little short-term work, you have to actually file your taxes at the end of the year, so instead of a W-2, you get a W-9 form. So one thing about this W-9 form form that we need to think about, and we need to discuss, actually. You know what? I think a different camera angle will make this documentary all the more lively, don't you think? Too close, too unflattering. Maybe another one would have to do. So the W-9 form has a question which states, check the appropriate box for federal tax classification. Are you an individual? Are you a C corporation, an S corporation, a partnership, a trust, limited liability company, or other? See, there's actually a mistake in the W-9 form because it seems to have the field for an individual. But what I think the government has failed to inform the public is that there aren't any individuals left anymore. There used to be a time when you might have found, more individuals, but not so much now. So there needs to be a new classification. You need to have a new classification called the conformist or the conformer. And a conformist is generally somebody who can easily get the job because they nod their head all the time. So in an interview, they're going to definitely ace it because they're going to be nodding their head. At work, they're going to be ace it, and they're definitely guaranteed the job. So sometimes it doesn't matter how skilled you are, and it doesn't matter how technical your skills are and how good they are. It really is more important that you're a very good conformist. So the government, the IRS does know about this mistake, and they do know that they need to add a field. But until they do, you can't really check any of these boxes off because, chances are the person filling out the W-9 form is not really an individual. I mean, you need to actually you need to have your correct classification. So what do you do if you don't find your classification? What do you do if you don't see conformist written here on the checkbox? I guess it means you just can't do your taxes, right? It certainly means that, because if you don't have the classification for a conformist, what are you going to do? Are you supposed to pay a couple $100 to go and get your taxes done at H&R Block, even though you can very well do it on your own by following the step-by-step manual that's located in the library? I mean, hey, people got hundreds of dollars to burn, then burn it. You got money to burn, then burn it. Or, you're going to have to just wait until you get this form filled out, and until you get the new form, which is going to be the conformist form. So that's actually today's tax lesson. And I hope all of you out there watching this program, benefited a lot from it. I mean, feel free to send, hundreds of dollars to the show, just like how you do the H&R Block, who, those people who declaim to do your taxes even because you're your own. So if you found this tax advice helpful, just by donation, feel free to send it on in. Do you have to pay taxes and donations? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And in case the IRS is watching this video and is wondering if donations are going to be taxed, just don't worry. No one watches the show. There are no donations. Nothing ever happens. So, you'll be alright, IRS. No one is withholding money that they're supposed to give over. Why would you even think that? What a terrible thing to say, or to even think. So, I hope all of you out there in TV land found this tax broadcast informational. No, that makes no sense. I'm really sorry. All you high school children out there who are watching this program, you must be picking up a lot of bad grammar, especially right now. I didn't mean to say the show is informational. The show has a lot of information, though I don't know why so many high school kids are cursing all the time. But anyway, this is today's tax broadcast, and I hope all of you enjoyed it. So once again, this is Ms Poopee Doodee, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News, telling all of you to do your taxes and be sure to give all your money to the government, because that's the right thing to do. That's what conformists do, the category that we need added in the W-9 form.